Wow. Beautiful, beautiful place to grab a lunch. It feels like it's trying to sprinkle. I don't know if it will or not, but if I get the chance, I'll do a little fishing. That may or may not be included in this video, but I appreciate you coming along for this. I hope that you enjoy this. One of the things I want to do real quick, I know you probably can't see it. I want to throw that out of the way. And we're using the little Kmart pack stove. I want to keep the pack closed as much as possible. I don't want critters crawling in and coming home with me kind of deal. So yeah, that's the deal with that. Let's move this just a tad closer. Hopefully this will work. I found this 5-gallon bucket that somebody drilled out for like a bait bucket. And it's cracked all along the bottom, but we're going to see if it can be used. Well, the striker doesn't work anymore. First use and it died. So let's, I'm gonna push that there, but I don't see any spark. So let's try it again just in case. And if not, I want to turn that fairly low. what we've got today is a cheddar broccoli rice and some chunk chicken breast. That ought to be pretty blooming good. And it calls for 1.25 cups and then 1/4 cup of milk. This is 2 cups. I'm going to do that right there. I don't know if you can see that or not. And see if that will begin to boil. I want to get my utensils out of here. I don't know if you haven't watched any of my videos, you won't know what I'm talking about. But I had a little red spoon, and honestly, it was too small. So what I'm going to do now is I bought these standby. This is like the Ozark Trail. It's a spoon, a fork, and a knife, and it's got a little plastic thing that joins them together. So we're gonna try that. It looks like more of a normal spoon. And you notice how when I did that and I was going to push this way, that I moved my hand? If you're using a knife, keep your hand out of the path of the blade or the tip of any part of that blade. Keep your hand out of the path of it. It's a free tip from me to you. And I learned it the hard way, just like every blooming thing else in my life. So we're going to see how this works. I think it's going to work really well. I'm going to bring this up to a boil. I need a trash pocket. Lovely. Don't leave your trash laying around in the woods. If you're going to come out and enjoy the beauty of nature, no matter what it is you're doing, keep stuff clean. Don't leave. There's a lot of trash. This was laid out here. I can see a chicken liver bucket or maybe a big tall worm container for night crawlers or whatever laying right over there. There's a little bit of stuff floating in the water probably from being in the pack. But anyway, I wanted to get that out. But anyway, don't leave trash laying around. You came out to enjoy nature and the beauty of it. And look at this. It is gorgeous. But all this trash laying around that you can't really see, there isn't any need for it. And it turns what is the natural beauty of this place into a lot less than it could be. And if you come out and enjoy, then you should want others to be able to enjoy what you're doing as well. That's my rant. I'll put my spoon there, and this is cutting close, but I want to turn this around because I want the control for the gas to be toward me. I need like a stand for a propane tank, and they make little 6 by 6 inch grill squares that might lay on the feet of that. That might give me a bit more stability with this pan. This pan is already getting close to boil. This will slow it down a bit, of course, but that's all right. I'm going to go ahead and add this. This is cheddar broccoli rice from Knorr. at some point I'm going to bring like my own stuff out here and do scratch cooking and things like that. So if you're interested in seeing that, let me know. Now this stuff is supposed to have a lid. I do not have a lid. So we're going to, if I have to break into my canteen water, I will if I can find it. It's right here. But we're going to do this almost like a risotto. We're just going to keep adding water until we get the consistency that we want. And it's already boiling. Let me get my, and once I get close to what I consider done, I'll throw that chunk chicken in so that it's nice and warm. I had, aha, knew I had that. Paper towel. Always carry something to wipe your rear end in with, if nothing else. I'm fixing to eat, right? That's another tip for me to use. There's not a whole lot around here I'd want to wipe with this time of year. So, just from me to you. Somebody's dog is getting a little indignant, maybe. I like this area. Across from me, there's a home over there, and a couple of people have got docks and stuff out here. There's one over there. There's a shed of some kind here that's well maintained, but it's generally quiet. There's usually nobody around but me, although I know that there are people hunting in here sometimes because I saw evidence of it coming in. But there's no vehicle parked down there, so I'm assuming that nobody's here. But this is open for hunting and fishing, and so I am perfectly fine to be here. And if you don't know what risotto is, I did an outdoor cooking video with my big Coleman stove in my backyard. A Simple Cook is the playlist from it where I did risotto. And basically what you do with risotto, this is not the kind of rice to do it with. This is long grain rice. You want to use, not basmati, but it's an Italian rice. I forget the name of it right now. I believe it starts with an A. Arborio rice. Or there's a couple of other kind of really short grain, fatty, or not fatty, but really starchy, high starch content rices you can use, and you basically are stirring the thing and letting the water evaporate. I can't speak today. And as it gets closer to evaporating, as you stir, what you're doing is you're rubbing the grains together and pulling the starch out of the rice. What that does is create a fairly thick sauce from the the boiling down of it and condensing of it, as well as from the starches in the grains. I'm just doing this like that. It takes like 20 minutes, but I'm just doing this like that because I don't have a lid for this pan. Um, this pan, there's nothing wrong with this pan, but this pan is more, would be more at home on like one of the Coleman single burner or two burner camp stoves, the full size, because what you've got is a very small um, focus of heat. I'm gonna turn that down. A very small focus point of heat, and so this is boiling, but it's boiling like right dead in the center of the where the pan is sitting, and that's why it's a non-stick pan, which I don't like non-stick pans in general for anything, even eggs. I really, the only time that I like a non-stick pan is if I'm doing like some type of hash brown or patty or a souffle or something like that. Okay, but this is what they had. That smells good. This is what they had, and that thick concentration of heat in that one position is what burnt the nonstick basically off of this pan. And it's bad for you to have nonstick a nonstick pan that's losing the nonstick coating. But this is what I have right now. I don't have anything else. So until I can afford to get one, and there is one that I want, that has, it's all stainless steel, and it has an aluminum disc on the bottom, like a lot of the stainless steel cookware that you would cook with on a range top. And it's got a folding lid. I spilled some rice. It's got a folding lid, or I'm sorry, folding handle. And yeah, about halfway. It's got a folding handle like this, so it would be easy to carry in my pack. And eventually, I'll get that. Now I added that water. It's already come back up. To a boil. I like this stove. It's more suited for like a bush pot or something like that. And I need that Stanley cup that's basically like a bush pot. But I do a lot of this kind of stuff, and I prefer to do this in a pan. I want that rice to spread out, or the noodles and the things that I would put in it. I like this uh, spoon setup really well so far. It's pretty much what I'm only thing you really need. It's got a knife, a fork, and a spoon. I don't know how heat resistant it would be, or anything of that sort. But one thing I might get as as I grow in doing this, this is something that I just started. But one thing that I might do is at some point I might get some type of spatula to bring with me for things like if I wanted to do pancakes or eggs or something like that, then I would want something like that. It's a kind of an overclouded day or overcast day, but it's beautiful. The temperatures, when I left the car, it was like 52 degrees. We've got like a light breeze going. I've got, this is, I call this a jacket, but it is, it's got a cut like a shirt that you would tuck into your pants, but it's flannel lined with a canvas outer shell, and it's comfortable. And I think, you know, if it got a little cooler, I could close it on up and be in good shape. I have a t-shirt and a very light flannel shirt on for this time of year. And being on the water, it's always a few degrees colder against the water than it is everywhere else, pretty much. I think elevation, if you get up really high, would be colder as well. That's why there's snow on top of mountains, I guess. But I don't know, I've climbed what they call mountains around here. I had a place called Bear Ridge when I was in my late teens or early 20s, probably 18 or 19, something like that. But I mean, Virginia has some beautiful mountains, but they're not Mount Everest or anything like that. I came to this place. I know that hunting is allowed here, but there's not a lot of people that come out here. I'd like to go down to a couple of other places. Well, one place in particular. That's a quite large wooded area and do this sort of thing. But that is heavily hunted during this time. This is hunting season right now. Firearms, deer season. And so I thought, you know, stay out of there. I definitely wouldn't wear the brown that I've got on, or tan, or whatever you want to call it, out there. But yeah, stay out of there. Give those folks plenty of time to enjoy their time in the woods. I'm gonna and I can do that later. Yeah, I can feel a few grains of rice sticking in that area where the nonstick is not on the pan anymore. It doesn't matter. You're going to get that anyway because of that small point of heat. Now I'll mess with it a little bit, but I'm not trying to pull it off, scrape it too much because I don't want to scrape nonstick coating off of the bottom of the pan. I'm looking forward to not consuming that. So. Let me give you a little look-see around while we're waiting on this to cook. Look at that right there. Look how gorgeous of a place this is. I know that you guys have seen it. You saw it in the late summer. But I mean, and you might look at that and go, Lord, look at all that stuff laying all over the place. That's nature. You see a lot of these videos from Canada and England, Europe, and stuff like that. And the Forestry Service comes in and cleans all the deadfall and stuff. It looks all beautiful and pristine. This is nature, and it's blooming gorgeous to me. I love this. We'll turn that heat down a bit more. When I put the chicken in, I think I'm just going to put juices and all in. I don't see how that could hurt anything. Probably make it taste a lot better. It's 25 after 1 right now in the afternoon. And it doesn't look like you're going to get that bit of rain. That's a good thing. I'm not complaining in the least. Let me see. If my hand, this is the broken hand. You see that? I still can't properly use it a lot of times for things that I want. Guys, really close to done. So we're gonna I will sit down here, but I will carry this out. I want to take it, if I can, I want to take it and rinse it in the river before I put it in my pack, because I don't want all this chicken juice and stuff like that, water and whatever else it is. Like I said, it's really difficult to use that hand. It's even difficult to use the other hand because I can't hold on to stuff with this one. That should be delicious. Now if I'd have just brought some dried peas, maybe dried carrots if they had them at the store. I'm pretty sure they've got dried peas, but they would have rehydrated in this. And if I'd have added them to this, would have been even better. But honestly, that wasn't in the budget this time around. And it wasn't in the time it would have took me to find that. I know, oh, use the Walmart app. Yeah, I put the Walmart app on my phone and it crashed every time I tried to use it. So, your mileage may vary. I'm sure it was operator error. I'm sure it was this old country boy that couldn't figure out how to use the app properly, but let me taste that after I put that chicken. Yeah, that was a nice boost of flavor. And I'm gonna take it now. Turn this up a bit and reduce that and concentrate it even more. Notice I didn't put salt in this. At home I generally do, but I knew there was salt in the chicken, and there's a lot of salt in this, but I don't know if I would call myself a saltaholic, but I like a lot more salt than most people do. I think it brings flavor out, but this dish will be concentrated from boiling it and from boiling it down and evaporating the liquids. Everything that's in it will concentrate, including the salt. So doing it this way, I don't want to put extra salt in it because I don't want it swimming in so much salt that it isn't even good to me, you know. But yeah, I want to concentrate this down so that it's thicker and has more of a gravy almost consistency. I meant to pick up an 8-ounce thing of cheddar cheese to throw on top of this, but I forgot it. I got out late and I was in a rush and didn't stop to think. I just grabbed and went, you know. I wanted, as a matter of fact, to stop by the flea market on the way by because I could have passed it if I went a certain route, and just look around. But once again, I was pressed for time. I got away from the house early, or I'm sorry, I got away from the house late. Yeah, it needs to cook a little more. That looks pretty good. We're gonna let that keep cooking, but we're gonna chow right now. That's not bad for off-the-shelf ingredients. But the fun part of this meal is not so much the food, although that's pretty darn delicious. I'm gonna shut that off. But the place that I'm eating it at, and the rice and the vermicelli. Are pretty much perfect. A little bit of cheese in that would make it, slamming good. It's pretty darn good right now. But I'm sitting here. I showed you that view earlier. All of the trees with their leaves gone. You got all the white. And you look at the river flowing down that way. It goes around the bend. And there's the mountains in the background. And the sun is kind of peeking up underneath the low-hanging clouds there, right there at the edge of the tip of the mountain. I want to bring this a little closer. I don't know how these videos are going to do. I'm trying to find as many kind of things I can do in the outdoors, in the woods, on the water, as I can. I don't know if sitting here eating a meal and kind of having a conversation is something that you would be interested in. But I'll look at my feedback and I'll look at my analytics. And see if this is something that my subscribers and viewers are enjoying. I know that I enjoy it. I would do it whether or not I was videotaping or not, or video recording. I betrayed my age there, videotaping. But, it's amazing to me. I'm 60 in just a few days. And it's amazing to me. I grew up, there was no internet, no cell phones, no Amazon, it'll be here tomorrow kind of thing. And, when I was 7, I was eating dirt, making mud pies and taking a magnifying glass and burning ant hills, and yeah, I know. that's a boy, okay? This society, I don't even want to get into that. Um, this is a beautiful place, and I want to enjoy it. But I mean, it amazes me now how much technology has changed the way that we live and what we're able to do. I never would have dreamed that I could go on a platform like YouTube, that there would be I mean, that was a fantasy when I was, well, people were talking about it in the 70s, you know, uh, the possibility of a worldwide communication system that, which generally turned into the World Wide Web. It was something that I think, if I remember correctly, it was basically designed for the government and for medical and other kind of uses, business uses and stuff like that. No one ever imagined when I was a boy that I would be able to come on a place like YouTube and through digital means, okay, a cell phone, because that's what I record these videos on, is a blooming cell phone. Okay, they look pretty good in my estimation. Um, and sit here and eat a meal out in the woods alongside the Shenandoah River and broadcast that all over the world. The experience, and my YouTube channel is not big, it's a small channel, but the experience of just having such a small channel that I have, but so many people, and many of them kind of dedicated to this channel, and it just amazes me that anybody would care, anything about my life. But I try to bring things that are beautiful. I try to show the beauty of the world around us, because I know there's a lot of people that all they see is brick and concrete, and glass, steel, and they don't, if they were to come out to a place like this, it would cost them a lot of money. They would have to take time off work. They'd have to plan it. I know that there are places, people like that can't get to this. And I'm so blessed and highly favored to live where it is that I live. And be able to, even like just at the spur of the moment, without much forethought, come out to a place like this and cook a meal, sit down and eat it and talk with you. It's amazing, especially when you consider that I grew up in an age where we didn't have these things, and the digital world is still, it doesn't look like it to you, but the digital world is still like a foreign land to me. I don't understand and don't know how things, or let's put it another way, I don't know how to operate in it well, but like this video on this camera that I'm using, it's intuitive, and it does a lot for me. Focus is major in video. Now, I have photography skills, and so I'm gonna do my best to adjust like the exposure, how much light is on this video, and then I'll do some post-processing a little bit, not very much, but a little bit on the video to kind of enhance, uh, not enhance, but a camera doesn't see like my eyes or your eyes see. And so when you look at a video that's not processed, it's kind of flat looking, and it doesn't always look like what my eyes are seeing now. And so I do just a little bit of processing to try to bring what I saw and what I remember of what this actually looked like to you. But anyway, thanks for watching. I appreciate you coming out. Bless you. And look, try to find some way to get out into nature. Even if you're in that place, those cities with steel and glass and concrete and all of that, there's a park somewhere. Find a place to be out in the nature, the natural places that are available to you. It will do wonders for your soul. Bless you. I'll talk to you later.